Top 10 heroes for the month of September 2018. Wanted to thank everyone for liking last month's video. Thank you so much for all of the support. I've been getting the last couple of videos. You guys are awesome. But we're going to get right into this list. And we're going to talk about mods a little bit in this list because Mods 2.0 has come out and it has changed a lot of things. So not only is this going to be top 10 for the month, but we're also going to briefly talk about mods because I know a lot of people hate mods, don't want to talk about mods, and splicing has made them a lot more complicated. So no particular order. We're going to start off with Treya. This is the ultimate chase in the game right now. She's very hard to get, and she synergizes insanely well with Cyan and Nihilus. The trio is where it's at, believe me, and a lot of people don't have her, and I want to say that Palpatine is good and as good of a leader as Treya if you don't have Treya, but I think all the end game and everything goes towards Treya. We're going to talk about how Jedi beats Palpatine, Palpatine beats Treya, but Treya beats Jedi. It's kind of this thing going right now, but at the top of that pyramid for sure is Treya. Now, I want to talk about why she's so good, and that's mostly because of her unique ability right here, which has two parts to it. The main thing is that Sith cleanse. They dispel all negative status effects on them every turn. So stuns don't stick to them. Nothing sticks to them. That is crazy good. But I'm going to talk about this right here. Darth Treya gains 10% bonus protection stacking until the end of her turn. And for reasons that make zero logical sense to me whatsoever, that is based off of max health. Go figure. I don't know. But max health and health mods really are the winners after Mods 2.0 when slicing. So Treya is going to get the most out of that ability by having a health right here. And when a primary set of protection goes from 5 to 6 dots, when you slice it to a 6-dot mod, it goes to 24%, where health goes from 5%-ish up to 16%. And that is huge. And the other thing I want to bring out is that when you go from gear 1, 2, 3, 11, 12, the protection is the same, but the health actually goes up every gear level. So health might even become more important as we go to 13. We'll have to see. And I'm going to bring this up later in the video when I talk about Nest and Bastila, because it works the same way with that stacking protection. Isolation is really good. It's like having a second Thrawn on your team. I have to tell you, this isolation mechanic is kind of complicated to read. Read it many times. It's still been challenging for me to understand how the mechanic works and to play correctly around it. Leadership is very good. This just destroys Jedi teams, and that's the reason why I think Treya is the best leader right now. Saberstorm can hit up to 3 times if the opponent has a positive effect. This can do huge damage. I've seen her one-shot people so many times, and she can do all kinds of crazy things with her basic attack, including stunning another team. If someone on your team, like your Sith Trooper, often will be stunned, and that's why I put a very slow Sith Trooper on my team. He has all those negative status effects, the basic attack from Treya does that. Let's go to Nihilus. And Nihilus is another part of the trio. He is probably the most important character in my opinion. He's the one that I will fracture or isolate, or both, because his kit is so good on so many different levels. Drain Force, my goodness. This is like ability block without having a negative status effect, and having their cooldowns increase is very good. I often will swap turn meter with Thrawn right to Darth Nihilus, and this is why I want to lock down the opponent's Nihilus right away. His basic attack can dispel positive status effects, and we all know about Annihilate. My goodness, one-shot kill, and these unique abilities on the trios, which all compound with each other. Nihilus will get like 500,000 health by the end of the battle, and you almost need to annihilate the other Nihilus. So the trio is the trio. Let's look at Cyan. And of course, Cyan is just one of the best tanks in the game. He's so good, super annoying. In a 1-versus-1 situation, he almost always wins because when he goes into hatred, he revives Oh my goodness. Mass Dispel, boy, this just wrecks Jedis. All their positive status effects get sucked away. It's also one of the more satisfying sound effects in the game when it sucks away all the things. Just a great tank, and his taunt will go on and off, on and off, on and off, and that's very annoying. All right, let's talk about Thrawn. And Thrawn is my personal favorite, in my opinion, best character in the game because he has Chimera, which is a very useful capital ship. He does so many things. He is the king of utility. I'm just going to say he's the best character in the game. I use him in all parts of the game. I'm personally on my account, I'm taking all of my G12 mods and putting them on Thrawn. He's the one that I'm focusing on to go fastest and to go first because he can swap turn meter, which was changed in the last patch. That actually made it better. His Grand Admiral's command basically swap turn meter with target other ally. Well, they made it better so that the ally that you swap with actually goes next. There was a situation where if two heroes had 100% turn meter or went up over 1,000 technically, then it's a coin flip. It doesn't matter how high you go, but if they get there at the same time, it was a coin flip, and that often caused Thrawn to swap turn meter with someone else, and then the opposing team would go. So they fixed that so that does not happen anymore. That is very good. A lot of people don't know this. The basic attack can stun if the other person has ability block. What it does is it gives speed up. When the speed up expires, it turns to ability block. But there's a lot of other characters that put ability block. So whenever you see ability block on another team and you have Thrawn with the basic attack, he can do a stun and fracture, fracture, fracture. Oh boy, this is one of the first characters that had paragraphs to read, but this just basically locks down a character, and that is so important on tanks and things like that, or high priority characters like Nihilus. You can fracture and you can deal with them, or you can deal with the rest of the team while they're fractured. So again, only good things to say about Thrawn, except for his leadership ability. Not a fan of how that works on defense. I wish it was a little bit more passive leadership ability because the AI just does it wrong and it's not good. It's still good on offense, but it's not good on defense. Now, just want to say that the trio is very strong, and then from there, you can put several characters on that team, and we're going to say that Thrawn is one of those characters, and so is Nest. Nest is just one of those characters that can go on any team almost and make the team better. Easily makes this list. Nest is very fast. He's actually faster than Thrawn, which is crazy because Thrawn is already one of the fastest characters in the game, but Nest is actually faster. But being able to remove turn meter right here at the beginning of the turn with kinetic charge and give them daze is huge. Clearing positive effects, stunning, and then most importantly, her unique ability where she gains 40% bonus protection stacking, and that bonus protection, again, is based off of max health. Go figure. And in Mods 2.0, health got a huge boost, and health mods on Nest are even better. There are entire teams that cannot defeat Nest. She pretty much needs to be annihilated by Nihilus, or you hit her once in one turn, let that bonus protection expire, hit her in another turn. She doesn't have a lot of max health. That's why you probably want to put a lot of max health on her, but easily one of the best characters in the game. So again, we've got the trio. You can throw in Thrawn in that team. You can throw in Nest in that team. You can also throw in Palpatine. And Palpatine is still a viable leader. Absolutely. Palpatine is very good. Palpatine can actually blow through Treya leads very easily because of all the turn meter advantage that Palpatine has over Treya. But Treya has advantages over the Jedi. But Palpatine has been one of the best characters in the game for a long, long time. One of the best leaders in the game easily because of all the turn meter advantage when they inflict debuffs. And then when debuffs expire on your own team, they gain 5% turn meter, and it's all about turn meter and speed. And then what do you know? You can do really funny things right here, like stun the other team. Almost stun the entire other team. You can also get back your health. And then shock is a very, very, very useful mechanic. And then lastly, who you might want to consider adding to your Sith team is a Sith tank, and that Sith tank is Sith Trooper. Now, what I did on my Sith Trooper is I loaded him up with health and defense mods, and I made him actually really, really slow because he's got this passive ability where he's going to get defense up, and he's going to get taunt, and then he's going to get retribution every time another Sith on your team does a special ability. Not a basic attack, but a special ability. And I just want him to stand there and start taunting and soak up damage, and he gets that armor up. He's just really, really tanky. So you could take the trio, which is Nihilus, Sion, and Treya, and then you could add Thrawn, Nest, Palpatine, maybe even make Palpatine the lead, and Sith Trooper, any one of those 7 characters, and make any multiple of combinations to make an amazing team. And really, right now, there's either Palpatine variations or Treya variations. And I gotta tell you, the Palpatine can actually beat Treya quite a bit easier on offense, but I think both teams win on offense, and the defensive benefits to having Treya versus Jedi is really the only reason to run Treya currently. And let's talk about Jedi. And Jedi, again, is primarily just 3 characters: Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, and Ezra. And then from there, you can add a bunch of different characters, anywhere from Hermit Yoda to Nihilus to Nest to General Kenobi, Old Ben. Who goes in the last 2 slots, even Thrawn, is not as important. But the main focus of a Jedi team is to have Bastila, Grandmaster Yoda, and Ezra. And the 3 of them together are all making the last part of this list. And again, her leadership ability has to do with this protection up, which is based off of max health. Go figure. It's just the way it works. And that's where these mods right here, right here, it's always been more important to have protection, or most of the time we put protection, but actually a health mod at 6 dots is quite significantly better now than it was pre-mods 2.0. So just keep that in mind. I might have to make a separate video about that, but health seems to be the biggest winner in this whole mods 2.0. Defense is good too, where they kept pretty much speed the same. And I just want to say, because it's a turn-based game, speed is still more important than ever. However, they boosted all the other stats, and speed is still very important. So, why is she so important? Mostly because of her leadership ability right here, where they get this massive amount of protection up that can't be dispelled. They start off with extra turn meter at the beginning of the battle, and Jedi tanks get auto pre-taunt, kind of like the Sith Trooper does. And while they have protection up, they have massive amounts of tenacity, which is very important with Sion and all the negative things that Palpatine and such can do. And Jedi teams can actually clear out Empire Palpatine-led teams very easily. She can get all of these buffs right here and put them on Yoda, and then Yoda can do, Grandmaster Yoda, can do so many awesome things with all these buffs. Plus she can dispel, and then her basic can put ability block. Overall, she's just a great character, and Jedis are very strong. And Grandmaster Yoda is just insane, all the funny things to do. Look at this kit. His rework made him absolutely amazing. His leadership ability is, it's actually one of those leadership abilities I wish I hadn't put a Zeta on my personal account, because Bastila is so good. Battle meditation right here. Woof! He just spreads buffs all over the place. The whole team can have tons of buffs, and the only thing that ruins that party is Sion. And then he can stun. And then he can steal buffs and go again. And then he can get turn meter or do extra damage. This kit takes some time getting used to, but it's very, very, very good. And then the last character on the list is Ezra. And Ezra is just one of my personal favorites. I highly recommend Ezra. Starts off with Phoenix, and it seems like newer players start off by Phoenix, and then they can start unlocking Palpatine and Thrawn because of the Phoenix or Rebels. And then the logical transition from going from Phoenix is to go either to Jedi or Empire-based team with a Palpatine lead. And Ezra is so important, plus he's got a ship that is very good. Flourish right here. I love this. When you hit somebody that doesn't have any negative status effects, if they have no buffs, his cooldown is reduced by 1, and he gains all this turn meter, and he goes again. He can do this watch and learn ability, which has a very interesting mechanics, especially with Nihilus, because Nihilus is a support character. You actually can make your Nihilus lightning fast. There's this incredibly good synergy with Ezra and Nihilus. You could throw Nihilus on a Jedi team. Highly recommend it with Old Ben. It's a great team. 40% turn meter. Ah, boy, this is great. And then right here, he has his basic attack that can hit twice. And I can't say enough about Ezra. He's very good. He is DPS. He is huge. He's awesome. And all of these characters on the list, with the exception of Sith Trooper, I can say that I'm very confident that you're not going to regret upgrading them as much as possible, and they're going to be useful in many different places in the game. Sith Trooper just seems to be a little bit more situational, and he works specifically on a Sith team. Very good, but he doesn't have the flexibility of a character like Ezra or Thrawn or Nihilus or Palpatine. Those are characters that are just good in so many different parts of the game. So, really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you're in luck. For every single person that likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Battle C-3PO.
This is not a scam.
Oh my goodness. Boy, that blurred image has got a lot of people talking about who that blurred image is. And I'm not going to speculate on what that blurred image is, but I just want to say very loudly and very clearly that there was a post by CG Carey saying that that character in that blurred image is not likely to be a legendary character. And even though that they want to do more legendary events, they just didn't have time to do that. Things were already in development. So hope there's not a lot of disappointed people, and there's all kinds of speculation on who that character is. I think everybody's got an opinion. You can put it in the comment section. All right, guys, thanks for watching and keep on gaming.